All right, so it is October, and I just got a notification. October 8th. I can't believe it's already October 8th. That's crazy. I feel like we're in September and now we're literally by the end of next week going to be halfway through October. So that's absolutely crazy. And hopefully you are on track and working towards the goals that you have set for yourself for October. I actually wrote a few notes just to kind of talk about, because Lauren posted something today, and I've seen this before, and by posted I mean like in her stories, but she shared this and I was like, yep, that's right. So we have 3 months left in this entire decade. Like, that's pretty crazy if you really think about it. And I think by really thinking about it, like, what are your big goals and dreams that you have this year and for the decade? Like, think about where you were 10 years ago. Like, where did you envision yourself to be? I know that when oh my gosh, where was I 10 years ago? It's in 2009. Oh my gosh, I think I had just gotten married. Yep, that's right. I'd just gotten married. We were dirt poor. We literally, and I remember my dad being like, "Are you sure you want to go into teaching? Like, you're not going to make any money teaching." And I was like, "Dad, I just want to like do something I love. I just want to do something I love, and I really don't care if we're dirt poor or whatever. I don't care what we have or don't have. I just want to be happy." And that is still true today. Like, that is still how I live my life is the money, whatever, that's fine and it helps, but that's not what ultimately matters to me. And that's not ultimately why I'm in this business. When I became a coach, we barely were scraping by. Like, had to dig money out of our savings because I had sold my car when we got married, put all that money into our savings, and literally had nothing left, maybe a couple $100 in the bank. And we had 2 kids under 2 and had to pay for diapers and had to pay for groceries and had taxes coming up. I knew if I didn't do something myself, it wasn't going to fix itself. And that's why I got into coaching. And I want you guys to think, why are you here? Why are you a coach? What brought you into this amazing opportunity for you to take control and to change your life? Okay, so we have 3 months left in this entire decade, and I want you to think, what are you going to do right now to completely crush your end of year goals? Because it's going to take action, and it's going to take being intentional, and it's going to take acting with purpose, but it's completely possible no matter what your goal is. I've seen crazier things happen in this business. Like, if you're sitting there thinking, well, there's just no way I could hit diamond by the end of the year. I have seen brand new coaches come into this business and hit 5-star, 7-star, 10-star in 5 months. So you are your only limitation. If you're sitting here thinking, well, that's not me, that couldn't be me, then it won't be. But if you're sitting there thinking, why couldn't that be me? Why couldn't I work hard enough to make that happen? Why couldn't I sacrifice an hour of sleep, or This Is Us, or whatever you're sacrificing to be here on this call, to be here working your business, to be here moving your business forward? Okay, that is what's going to get you to your goals. That's what's going to get you to your end of year goal. We have a lot of opportunities right now to help a lot of people. And hopefully you guys have a game plan and a marketing strategy, and you're thinking about all these little things that'll help you get to those people who are looking for you, really. I know that, so I have been doing Morning Meltdown for like ever, literally. So I'm ready for something new, and I'm going to be doing 6 weeks of the work. I actually did some of the workouts. I did week 1 this past week, and it's been amazing. I love it. I wanted to kind of know a little bit what my challengers were able to expect. And honestly, now that I've done some of the workouts, and I know Jerica was on here a second ago, I think she's listening to me, but she texted me this morning. She's like, I about threw up. And if you haven't done leg day yet, like leg day is no joke in 6 weeks of the work. My brother did it with me when we were in St. George this weekend with my family. And even he told me like his legs were shaking the next day. And he said his butt was so, and this is the guy that like loves P90X, loves Tony Horton, works out every day, runs half marathons. Like this is no joke. Okay. But it's doable for anyone. Totally doable for anyone. It's how hard you push yourself. And honestly, it's going to be the program that gets people the best results in 6 weeks. Okay. And that fit test, like I think it's a good measurement, but it's also like not even like I don't even know how it compares to whether you're ready for this or not. Like, you know what I mean? If you've done a workout from the program, like just because you can touch a certain height, I feel like it's more like a measurement tool for you to go back and measure and see, okay, how much can I do now from when I started? So think of it like that. If you didn't pass the fit test for whatever reason, I still challenge you. You could still do the program, and you could, if like I know Tiff is super pregnant with twins. So probably not ideal for her to be like laying on her belly or doing certain moves. Like you can still modify a lot of the stuff and get an awesome workout and still experience it with your coaches or with your challengers if you want to. But you don't have to do 6 weeks of the work to help other people do 6 weeks of the work, if that makes sense. Okay. Sorry, I have a couple of notes just so I don't forget anything. So we're in prep week right now, and you guys, I'm still talking about it. I'm still recruiting people. I'm still messaging people. I'm still helping lots of people to see the potential of this program. And then we're officially starting on the 14th. So this is the week you push hard and you talk about it like crazy. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be doing it with them, but it means you're helping them see, okay, this is an incredible opportunity to try a group or a program for the very first time and to be the test group for it. Like that's an awesome experience. And it's only 6 weeks long. Me personally, I'm going to do 2 rounds of it. So the first round starting on Monday the 14th, and then the second round, I believe it's like end of November or something that it would start. Okay. So if you're interested in that, you're welcome to join my group. I put all the info in the team page. So just put your email under there and I'll add everyone probably tonight or tomorrow since we're just in prep week. The prep stuff is the exact same as all the others. So don't worry if you're feeling like you're missing out on something. But get your people plugged into that group. If you don't have a group, if you weren't planning on running one, you're welcome to put them in my group. And that goes for always, you guys. If you're like feeling really like you're just not quite ready to start your own group, that is okay. I will tell you firsthand, when I first started as a coach, I was in my Uplands challenge groups with all of my people for probably a year or more. I'm not saying that's the right way, but that's what worked for me. Okay. Lots of you feel that confidence and you're ready to start your own group, and that is great. Go start your own group, spread your wings, like go, like I want you guys to feel that confidence, but if you're not, I don't want you to feel like you're not welcome in my group, because you are. Okay. So just know you always have a spot in my group, but if you're ready to do your own thing, if you're ready to start your own group and you want to kind of create your own community, I don't want to hold you back from that. I want you guys to go and do that. But if it's going to stress you out, if it's going to hold you back from inviting, if it's going to keep you from doing the essentials and the vital behaviors, then you need to utilize the tools that you have in your toolbox. Okay. All right. So I think I told you all that I needed to tell you. Oh, and if you're not planning on doing it, I would still, like right now, I would still get the program while it's on promo. Like while you can get it the cheapest that you can get it. You know what I mean? Even if you're like, okay, well, like in 5 months, after the new year, I'm going to be doing it. I would get it now so you have everything for a cheaper price down the road. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, and talking about like mapping stuff out, if you guys haven't gotten this yet, or if you're a new emerald, I'm going to start sending these to all my new emeralds. So if you haven't got this yet, let me know. But I'm such a firm believer in this Rise Up planner. Like, it's my favorite. It's literally been a game changer for me in terms of like keeping track of all my enrollments and helping people get started and knowing like all the things that I'm doing, mapping out my entire month. Okay. If you need something that has everything in one place, this is the best route to go. It is the best route to go. So just know that there are tools out there, but I write down my entire month, the previous month before, just so I know when the mentor calls are, I can schedule these things around my life. Okay. And that's really how it should be. It should be something that, you know, you're scheduling around your life, not intruding into your life or whatever. Okay, so I heard something this weekend. Oh, I just saw this. I'm actually not telling anyone new to do this program, not after today. Oh yeah, like if they are brand new to working out, for sure I wouldn't start them with 6 weeks of the work. That would just set them up for failure. But if they've been in your groups for a while, I would recommend it. That's hilarious. Okay, and yeah, that's funny. Okay, so I heard something this weekend at our church conference that really stood out to me, and it was really in relation to like our scripture study and to how we live and whatever. But I also started to apply it to kind of my business and the daily activities I do and just like my purpose here. And he said, it's not about being perfect. It is about being intentional. And I know we've all heard that a million times, but I think sometimes we look so many different directions and we think, okay, that's how I should be doing it. That's the right way. I need to be doing this. And we get so distracted by everyone around us that we don't end up doing anything. And really, there's no right or wrong way. Like if you guys have ever looked at the top coaches in the network, if you've ever looked at coaches on our team, if you've ever looked at coaches in Micah's downline, really none of us are the same. Like, and there's so many successful coaches in the business. So if you're feeling like, I just am not doing it right, I'm not finding the right people, I'm not focused on the right things, you need to just put those blinders on and focus on being intentional, being focused on what you're doing in that moment. Okay, and that's one of the things I really love about the Rise Up Planner is it helps you be super intentional. Okay, so like for example, not only does it have you write out your big overarching goals, but it also has you write down your weekly goals, well, your monthly goals, your weekly goals, and your most important meetings this week. Okay, so it really has you get super focused, super intentional, and then also has kind of the win the week stuff at the bottom, which is basically the things that you have to get done that week in order to feel like you have won your week. So whatever you struggle with the most, like maybe one of the things that you struggle with getting done the most is adding to your network, or maybe it's reading your personal development, or maybe it's something completely different. Maybe it's just getting your workout in. Okay, that's going to be one of the things that you're writing down in your win the week section. For me, my very number one thing is my connections and invites, and then my posts, my stories, my follow-ups, and responding to comments and messages. Okay, so you think for yourself though, what do I need to do today to feel like I am doing what I need to do in my business to move my business forward? And that's what's going to change your business, you guys. You are going to be the change. You are going to be the one that makes the impact on your business, nobody else. And something I hear all too often, like I actually got a cancellation email from a girl today who never told me she was struggling, who never reached out for help, who I just assumed saw the opportunities for mentorship and for team workouts and team calls and everything, never talked to me about how she was struggling. And I got the cancellation and she just said, I just, I'm too overwhelmed. And I'll be honest, when I heard that, I was like, that's BS, because overwhelm is a choice. Do you know who's overwhelmed? The mom that has 5 kids who's now single. You know who's overwhelmed? It's someone who goes to a full-time job, takes their kids to daycare, comes home, has to cook dinner, has to get them ready for a bath, and is working a side hustle. Overwhelm is a choice. And I think we make so many excuses for our fear of failure. I really think that's what it is. We make the excuse that, it is just too overwhelming, or I just couldn't fit it all in. Well, you can, guaranteed she's watching TV with her husband. That's a choice. Well, while she's sitting there watching TV, she's probably also stressing about oh my gosh, I didn't do anything for my business today. I didn't do anything to move my business forward, but it's just so overwhelming, I can't start. Overwhelm is a choice. Stress is a choice. You can either, if you're stressed, I get it, unplug for an hour and then get back to work. Okay. But it's about choosing what's most important for you. I can promise you that when I first started this business, I was overwhelmed. I literally thought my head was going to explode that first week when I was going through all the trainings. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm learning right now, but I'm just going to keep going. And I can guarantee you I was overwhelmed when I started to build a team and I was still working a 9-to-5 job, and I still had 2 kids that I had to take care of afterward. And I still had to sacrifice having dinner with my family so that I could train my team, because I love them too. And I wanted them to be successful. That was overwhelming too. But it's what we choose, what we feel. It's how we choose to act in those moments. Are we going to take action, and instead of letting it debilitate us, we're going to rise above and choose to be productive, choose to be intentional in our work, so we're not wasting time on our phones, so we're not wasting time on social media, so we're not wasting time in front of the TV? And are we going to think about our purpose and why we're here? Because I can promise you, when I felt overwhelmed, literally when I was telling Jeff, I remember this moment distinctly, telling him, I just feel like I am working 24/7 right now. I'm literally never not working. And that drove me insane. And then I remembered, because on my phone, I always have a picture of my kids on my screensaver, whatever you call it, my backdrop. And they were why I was working that hard. They were my purpose. And that purpose was deep enough that I was willing to sacrifice anything to get to them. But you have to have a deep purpose like that. And that's what I want to talk about today. Okay. So that's the whole purpose of really this call. And I'm hoping someone volunteers. I know a lot of you did this. And if you've already done this, that's great. If you haven't, that's great too. So in the team page, I shared, and I'm actually going to show the video really quick. So I shared a video about the 7 levels deep. Hold on.
There's a point.
Okay. And I thought it was just super interesting, because this is really what it's all about. Are you guys seeing that video? Okay. This is really what it's all about. And this is what I think is going to help us get to such a deeper purpose in knowing why we're here, which will help you do the work you need to do to get to where you want to be. So we're just going to watch this. It's not that long. And then I'm going to actually I want to do this with a couple of you. And everyone else, I want you guys, we'll do it on our own. And I want to see the 7 levels deep, and I want to share those things. But I want to do a couple of 7 levels deep here live on the call. So let's watch and see.
Actually, that I wanted to go over in your book called The 7 Levels Deep. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And this is an exercise that you do, right? And what is this exercise for? Okay. And how does it go?
Okay. So 7 Levels Deep was probably the biggest impact, the biggest thing in the impact of my life ever.
Really?
Yeah. One day. So I hired a guy named Joe Stump. Do you know Joe Stump?
No.
Great guy. He's in the marketing world, but I hired him because I want more engagement with my students. So it's all about, if you can get somebody to digest some of your book, if somebody will read 30 pages of your book, they'll read the whole book. How do you get them to the first 30 pages? So I'm always obsessing and trying to create ethical bribes, whatever I can do to get you to take action, right? We know books work. It's the books and the action. So anyway, so Joe comes in and I said, I want to do whatever I can. And he said, have you ever done the 7 Levels Deep? I don't know where he got it from. This is probably about 8 years ago. She was 2. So about 8 years ago. And I said, well, if it's good, just give it to me.
Right.
I'll take it. I'll take it. And he's like, I want to go through it with you. I'm like, listen. And I paid Joe $10,000 for half a day of consulting at the time. And he's like, I said, I want to go through. I just want it. He goes, I won't give it to you unless you do it. So we sit there, and what the 7 Levels Deep is finding, everybody wants to know your purpose and what's this meaning of life and what's my why and all that. I get it, and it's kind of played out. But I don't know if anything really gets to the heart of it as simple as this. So what it basically was, he's like, why would you give me $10,000 for half a day? And I said, because I want to create a company that stands out from everybody else. I want to engage more students, change more lives. And he basically said to me, that's a really great answer. So I asked you why I'm here. And you said you want to engage more students and get more people to change their lives. So why is it important for you to engage more students and change people's lives? And I remember saying, there's a lot of people in this industry that shouldn't be here, and there's some great people. I want to help rise all boats of the good and push the rest out. I want to leave a legacy for my kids. So he said, okay, I asked you why you paid me $10,000. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. And he's like, you did this. You said you wanted to stand out and you wanted to leave a legacy. So why is it important to leave a legacy? And the whole point is asking the previous question 7 times. I took that day. By the time I got to the 3rd question, what happens is when there was 3 questions left, I should say, he asked me 4 times, it switched from my head to my heart. And I felt my physiology change. I felt my emotions change. I felt like tears welling up. And when he asked me, and I don't even remember what the 4th thing I said, but the 3rd thing I said was, I never want to go backwards. And he got me thinking about things I haven't thought about in years. Wow. I didn't like being the kid with hand-me-downs, and I'd make my parents drop me off down the street with their junky car, and I'd go to lunch. And this is not poor me. My life was designed to be exactly the way it was, or I wouldn't be the man or the father I am today. But there was days I'd go to school without lunch money, and I just tell my buddies I'm not hungry because we didn't have a buck, right? So I never want to go back there. And I felt that emotion, and it hit me so hard. I'm like, that's what it is. And he's like, well, there's 2 more left. So he said, Dean, why is it important that you never go backwards? And I'm like, God, I don't know. And it hit me, and I thought, my kids, I just want to give them options. I don't want to raise entitled kids or brats, but I want to give them options that I didn't have. And I'm like, that's it. So he's like, well, that's not really, it's 7. It's not 9. It's not 5. It's 7 levels deep. And by now I'm crying because I'm thinking about my kids, literally. And I got half my staff there, and I'm like just weeping. And it came to me. He said, why is that important? And it just hit me. And I never knew why I worked so hard since I was cutting firewood in high school and did all this stuff. I said, I need to be in control of my life. And these emotions flooded in my parents. Everybody's got their thing, right? But for me, and I'm saying this because I want you at home to be, or when you're watching this, listen to this. I realized that my parents were married 9 times when I was a kid. So I moved 20 times by the time I was 19. Different stepbrothers, stepsisters.
Both parents were married.
5 for my dad, 5 for my mom, 4 for my dad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's crazy. Always moving. Like military kids know what that feels like, right? So I'd be in a cul-de-sac with a new stepdad, stepbrothers, stepsisters, have the bike, come home one day, and my mom's like, we're moving again. And then I moved in with my dad, moved in with my grandmother. So I had this crazy hopscotch my whole childhood. There was no certainty. So what I realized at that moment, literally, I'm bawling. Like literally crying. It's like, I don't want anybody to ever tell me when to move, how to dress, how to live, how to work, how I'm going to raise my kids. It's definitely not going to kiss somebody's ass for money. Right. And I realized at that moment, my why was I don't want to be a control freak. I just want to be in control. When I was 27, I retired both my parents. I stopped worrying about them. I took care of my grandmother. I took care of something. So I got those problems out of the way. And when I anchored that in And you watching at home, it's like, if you think you're watching this because you want to be an entrepreneur, or you already are. If you're watching this, you already had great success in your life. You want that next level, or maybe it's income, or better health, or better diet, or better physiology, whatever it is you want. So many times we think it's because I want to get out of that job. I want this freedom. I just want more money. I want to take the better vacations. And it's 7 times deeper than that. And when you find that, and the reason I know this, not only because it wasn't just transformational to me, is I did live events in Las Vegas for 6 years straight. Every single month, there was 400 people in the room that paid 20 grand to go.
Real estate events, right?
Real estate events. So about 5.5 years, I did them every month in Las Vegas. So once a month, I'd fly in, and that was like the highest level. And every single month, I'd pick somebody out of the audience, and I'd say, "Come on up. Let's do this 7 levels deep." Like, I got it, man. I know what it is. And I'm like, okay, so like, I'm gonna give you a quick example. I won't beat this up, but this is so important because when you feel fatigued, when you want to say no, when you don't want to go to the gym, when you don't want to make that sales call, when you don't want to get your funnel working, when you don't want to start new, when you don't want to say no to someone you should say no to, or say yes to someone else you should say yes to. Literally, for me, still, I fall back on my why. And when I think of my kids and going backwards and being in control, I could push through anything. Nothing will stop me. A bad day. I don't know what it's like to be sick because my mind, I can program my brain to just power through because I focus foundationally on this why.
Right.
So I remember this guy, he was awesome. Big dude, he had dreadlocks. He was like 6'7". I mean, 6'5". He was huge. This awesome dude. He comes up. He's like, "Man," they're like, "Pick me up." He gives me this big hug. He's like, "Look." So I said, "Why are you here?" He's like, "I already know, dude. You're not going to get 7 levels. You're not gonna. I've already done the exercise." He says, "I'm here because in my neighborhood, there's no dads. There's not enough dads in my neighborhood. I grew up without a dad. These kids need dads. So I'm making money in real estate, and I'm starting this youth group. I already had dad. We get dads together, and we go spend these days." He had this amazing story, and I melted on the first one. I said, "Well, why is that important?" He goes, "Dude, what do you mean? Why is that important to you?" "Of course it's important." And he's laughing, he's joking, and he gives me another reason. "I want more money because I want to build a building for it." But I could tell he was still in his head. He gets to number 2 or 1, and everything changed on him. He gets small, and he starts crying. I mean, like uncontrollable crying. And he gets to his number 1. He's like, "My mom raised a good boy, but when she died 9 years ago, I was a drug addict. And she never saw the man she created. And she said, I'm showing her in heaven what a man I'm saying it right now. I got physical boot." He said that. And he said, "I'll never stop that. I'll never stop." And again, we all have our own reasons for doing stuff. But when you get to the heart of why you're watching, why you do what you do, it's so much deeper than what you think. And I forget sometimes. I hope I don't sit here and seem like I got my life all figured out. I'm blessed to have I've had more blessings in my life than I ever could imagine. If somebody would have told me at 25, this is where I'd be, I'd say impossible. So I appreciate my blessings, but I'm not perfect at all this stuff. But when I practice these habits, when I think through this, when I recognize my why, the days that I'm off track, the days I think I bit off more than I can chew, or the days where I feel like I plateaued, when I go back to that why, it's like game over. You're not getting in my way. Nothing is.
Wow. You got me emotional. What is the,
Okay. Oh, where did it go? Oh. Yep, it's gonna start again. Okay, how do I get out of this? Shoot. There we go. Found it. Technology challenged. Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but every time I've watched that, I get the craziest goosebumps. Like the craziest goosebumps and tears in my eyes. And sorry if you can hear Jeff out there doing yard work when it's dark. I don't know, whatever, that's fine. But it kind of just like hits home for me. So I thought it would be pretty cool to do this with our team. Is there, and I don't want to like call anyone out, I want you to feel comfortable with it, but is there anyone who wants to go 7 levels deep and talk about Allie does? Okay, this will be good because Allie actually is a good friend of mine. Okay, I'm gonna turn on speaker view too so that I can see Miss Allie when she talks. Okay, I unmuted you, Allie. Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure it worked. Okay, so the question I want to start with is, why did you become a coach?
Oh, let's see. I became a coach because I needed something for me that was fulfilling me, that I could like step out of mom and wife role. So something, yeah, something fulfilling for me.
Yeah, okay. I love that. So, did you just disappear on me? Or are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, your picture changed where you were. So you said you wanted something that would be fulfilling for you as a person outside of motherhood and being a wife and everything like that.
Mhm.
Okay, so why is it important for you to have something for yourself outside of that?
I just felt like I was getting lost in motherhood, I guess. Like, I don't know, does that answer it? I felt like I was getting lost in just the day-to-day stuff and I didn't oh, I guess this one's kind of hard for me because growing up I always wanted to be a mother. And I remember when I first got married, I was like, I want to have kids like right away. And my husband didn't. He's like, no, I want to get through school first. And then like once I became a mom, like, yes, it's fulfilling, but also I'm like, wait, this isn't like everything I thought. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what I think you're seeing, so you first said because you wanted to feel fulfilled outside of motherhood and outside of being a wife. And then that's important to you because you wanted motherhood and then it was kind of not filling that role for you when you thought it was going to be like the thing that you wanted the most.
Yeah.
Okay, so why then? I think we need to go more into like the why of it. Like, why is that not fulfilling for you? Or why do you want to feel fulfilled in a different way outside of motherhood?
Um, Sorry, I've never really like thought about this. I guess I've never been asked to go this deep before. Um, well, can you ask me like, can you ask that again?
Yeah. So why is feeling fulfilled outside of motherhood important to you?
Because I still want to like be myself, be known as like Allie and not just as mom.
Yes. Okay. So you said you want to be known as yourself and not as mom Allie or wife Allie, but you want to be known as you Allie, right?
Yeah, because just I think just being like a mom or a wife, I don't know, I think it stems from like my family too. Like I have two brothers who are like in the medical field and like doing all these amazing things. And I felt like my parents, like, I don't know. And I don't know that they like ever think this, but I think I'm like just being a mom or just being a wife like isn't enough. Or like, I guess I might be comparing myself to like my siblings or like how my parents might look at me. But I just think, I don't know, it wasn't enough.
Okay. Do you mind me asking why you didn't feel like you were enough?
um I think maybe it comes from like my mom's a teacher, her sister's a teacher, her dad is a teacher, her mom was a teacher, like all these like everyone is so into like education. And then like, you know, my mom has these two sons that are in the medical field, like one's becoming a doctor, one is a nurse practitioner. And then I didn't even go to like I dropped out of college. I went to hair school and then I went to college for a little bit and then I just stopped because I wanted to just be doing hair. And so I think I don't know that I feel like I'm not looked at as like successful in I guess, in like an occupation, maybe.
Okay. Why is it important for you to feel successful in your occupation?
I don't know, doesn't everybody want to feel successful in what they're doing? I don't know, just, oh, that's hard. I don't know how to go.
Okay, I'm on a call. Can you close the door, Jose? Go show daddy. Love you. Sorry, Alex.
No, you're fine.
I
I think I just want to like make my family, like my parents, my husband, I want to make my family proud of who I am. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And do you feel like they're not proud of you?
I don't really ever get, I mean, my parents do say like, oh, your kids look happy. I know they love you. Like they definitely are proud of me as like as a mom, as you know what I'm doing. But I feel like I've just done so many different things that, and I think this might be just stories I'm making up in my head because they've never like actually like said it out loud. But I think I've just like tried so many different things, like, and I still do hair and I love it and I am really good at it. I know that I am. But the way we've moved around so much, I haven't really been able to like dig deep into that and like build a huge clientele because we move around so much. But yeah, I don't feel like they've ever said anything about anything else besides motherhood, like about being proud of what I'm doing.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what your answer was to that response. So I asked, what was the last question I asked? I need to like write these down. So why is it important for you? The last question I asked was, why was it important for you
To feel like
they're proud of you, right?
Yeah.
And did you say why? Because I'm not really sure I understood. I mean, I get where you're going with it, but, and I think I asked you, like, do you feel like they're not proud of you? Because I think we're kind of staying on the surface. Like, was there something inside of you, or is there something that you feel like coaching is going to fulfill when you are successful that will help do anything in terms of like you proving yourself, or like why does that matter? What they're like, if they're proud of you for that. Does that make sense?
Kind of. So like, okay. So you said me being successful at coaching. Why does that? I think that's what's going to make them proud of me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think like doing something like all in and I don't know, having something to show for it, I guess. But I don't know. Well, sorry, I feel like I'm totally ruining
No, you're
this.
fine. But is that like what's most important to you, is feeling like you have something to show for yourself?
I guess that's where I like got at, but I don't know if that's really it. I just want like, yeah, I want to make my family proud, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
that's
I
hard.
think that's a really good reason. But for you, so your ultimate reason for coaching is to feel fulfilled in the sense that your parents are proud of you.
Yeah, and just like my family in general.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, can you guys hear all of that? There's children screaming.
Yeah, Rebecca, She said maybe you want them to be proud of you for more than just being a mom and want to prove that you can be successful at one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. I'm going to pick on someone else. Thanks so much, Allie. Okay. Is there anyone that wants to volunteer, or I might pick someone? I think this is kind of a good thing. And one of the things you can think about too, there was a worksheet that came along with it. I wonder if did I share it in the team page? Because if I didn't, I'll share it in the threads today, or tonight, because it just basically gives you like the question that you're supposed to ask yourself 7 times, and then you guys can fill that out. Okay. So I don't see anyone volunteering, but okay. I don't know why, but I think it's the red shirt I'm being drawn to. Okay, Shalise, would you go through your eyes? Will you go through this with me? This will be the last one, and then we'll close it out and everything. But I do want everyone to go through this, even if it's on your own, and it might be less. I'm hoping it's not like super intimidating. Like, as you can tell, I'm not a professional at this. Like, but it is kind of fun to do together and to like really dig deeper into that purpose. So, okay, I unmuted you, Shalise. Is it okay if we do this together? I don't want to like force you into it if you're like not doing this.
It's okay. I mean, it might get a little intense because my reasoning is pretty crazy.
Okay, well,
I just don't know.
You're fine. I think it's okay. If you feel okay with sharing.
Okay.
Okay. So why did you become a coach?
I'm trying to think of where to start.
Yeah. Like, what made you like message your coach and be like, I'm in, like, I'm ready? Like, what was that one thing? I feel like there's like one thing that just you're like, okay.
Yeah, there is. I am going through a divorce right now, and he was unfaithful, and that was it. Like, it was like I was in this situation that I had like no control over.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to find something that I could like take control over, basically.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was, Jerica's my coach, and we went to high school together. So I've been following her forever. And it was just, I'd always been like, needing to get into health and fitness or whatever, wanting to lose weight and get healthy. But it took a pretty big thing for me to like all of a sudden do that. And it wasn't, I signed up as a challenger originally. And then, it was like a few weeks after seeing the community. So that is what I ended up like doing coaching for, was the community, when I didn't really have anyone in that situation.
I like that. So you said you became a coach because you were going through something hard. You wanted a tribe to surround you with, and you wanted that community. So and don't worry about the kids. Seriously, it doesn't matter.
They're coming.
But you're like, yeah, I'll run as far as I can. So why is having that community and that support during a hard time important for you?
I think because I felt like you know, oh, my watch is talking to me. I just felt like alone in it, you know? So, cause there's more to the story that makes sense if you know. But I didn't have anyone to like go through it with. And so I just felt really alone. And then I've always kind of been more friends with guys and not really friends with girls. So I think to answer your question, because I just felt like alone, and then I saw these women that were like so positive, and oh, he turned the light off. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Seriously, it's fine.
Anyway,
See you.
I found, you know, a group of women that were so positive and that like were there for me, even though no one knew what was going on. They didn't care. It was just like that support.
Okay, so you said you became a coach for that community, and then you really needed that support, and you wanted that group of women, not like, because I feel like I was kind of the same way. Like I didn't have a ton of girlfriends growing up, but I always had lots of guy friends and whatever. But what made you, you know, why did you want that group of girls to support you and to be your community now?
Why now?
Yeah.
Or like why, like at that point?
Yeah, at that point.
So this is going to get real personal, and I'm fine sharing, but I'm sorry. Like it's pretty intense, but the person that my husband had an affair with was my mom. And so I didn't have like that female connection anymore. Like I have a sister, but it wasn't, I don't know, I just felt like I couldn't talk to anyone about what I was going through.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that female role there anymore. So it, you know, stepped in, and thanks, Anna, and filled that role for me.
I know, this is like, I can't imagine. It's probably a little bit tough to talk.
I knew I was going to get chosen. I was sitting there and I'm like, this is probably going to be the time. But it's like good for me to talk about.
Yeah.
And
well, and I think that is really like that would be really tough. And but what's cool is you have come into like a community where you have that trust and those friendships.
It's like crazy. That timing is just good.
Yeah. There's definitely a higher hand involved, right? So I don't even know if we can go deeper than that.
That's pretty
deep. But he did say there's not 6 and there's not 9. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So why is it important for you then to build that trust and to have that community? Did I already ask that question? I don't even know. You're
sorry.
Yours. No, just like respect you so much. And this is like really, I think you were brought here for a purpose and have so many people that you're going to make a huge impact on, you know?
Thank you. Thank you.
I honestly don't know if I can go any deeper than that.
No, that's probably it.
But thank you so much for sharing.
So I love all of you and the whole team, and like it's literally saved me from like a really dark place. So anyway,
I'm so glad to hear that, and like what an incredible platform you have to make a difference, not just in your own life, but like in so many women's lives who have gone through similar situations that you're going through, who need that support like you have needed it, and you get to be that for them. Like that's an incredible gift that not many people can give, you know? Like, you're a really special person, and this is going to be a big thing for you. How long have you been a coach? I think we
Since
met.
February.
Did we meet?
Well, March. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Summit.
remember you talking to us at Summit. Yeah. But I didn't know.
So I think it was like March. I started the programs in February, and then March, I think.
So cool. Well, you're killing it and you're doing awesome. Okay. I'm going to bring it back. I changed the view on my screen for the recording. Thanks you guys so much for participating. And if you haven't gone through the 7 levels, I really encourage you to just be super open and honest. And if you want to do it with one of your coaches, or do it with your upline, or with me, or whoever, if it's like something that you need to tell someone, you know what I mean? I think it's so much more, it makes such a deeper impact on you and your purpose and your journey when you are able to open up and to confide in your sisters or whatever, about your deeper purpose and the 7 levels deep of why you're here and your purpose for doing what you're doing. Like, there's no stopping you. You know what I mean? There's no stopping you. If you don't want to, that's fine, but I would love for you guys to send me, even if you're not my personal sponsored coach, send me your 7 levels deep, and I'll make sure I get you guys just that little sheet. It's 1 page, and you just write it out, and we can kind of share that connection together. Okay. Whew. I really appreciate you guys so much, and I hope you know, like, how much I love you guys, how much I think about you, and just how much I want just everything in the world for you guys. And I sometimes know, like, I'm sorry, I'm so emotional. But hearing you guys talk about the things that are on your mind and on your heart, like, that's so important to me. And that's why we're here. This isn't something you just do because it's, I mean, some people do it just because it's fun. But I feel like if you're here and if you're showing up and if you're on the team calls, you're here for a reason. And you have a deeper purpose. You know, you're sacrificing time to be here. And I hope you know how much that means to me and how much I want to help you and to serve you and to mentor you and guide you and help you do all the things that you have in your bucket list and on your goals and on your dream boards, because you all deserve that and you all deserve the world. And I just respect and love each of you so much. So thank you for getting on and for being here and for being present. And I hope you guys are ready to crush the last 90 days, knowing your purpose, knowing the 7 levels deep. I know will help you do that, and having a game plan on how to help those people that you're connecting with is going to just serve you even more. So are there any questions or anything you guys need before we log off for the night? I know. Okay. I love you. And I cannot wait to see you guys at 7 levels deep. I know sometimes it can get emotional. Sometimes it can be really exciting and happy, but I hope it's something that, you know, I always heard, like, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not deep enough, you know, it's not big enough. So really dig deep into your purpose, into your passions and why you're here and what you want out of this opportunity. Okay. I love you guys. Have an amazing night. Do we want to get a team picture? Let's do it, because we all need one. Gotta clean my screen. You know how that goes. My screen, my camera. I'm on my camera. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Should we do a boomerang? I always have to go to my Instagram to do that. I don't have the app. Okay. Ready? Do something cute. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to get to boomerang. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Okay. I'll put those in the threads if you guys want to use them for your stories. And seriously, thank you guys. I love you so much. Have a good night.